Welcome to one of the least visited countries in the whole of Europe. Often overshadowed by its coastal neighbour of Croatia, it was founded on March 1st, 1992, after the fall of the Soviet Union and former Yugoslavia during the Cold War. Their capital Sarajevo endured the longest siege in history during the Bosnia Wars that followed between 1992 and 1996 against Serbia and Croatia, with over 100,000 people dying. Now it's an up-and-coming travel destination for people looking to get off the beaten track, get that natural beauty, rich culture and some of the best coffee in the entire world. Welcome to Bosnia and Herzegovina, and in this vlog I will be taking you on a journey through the capital Sarajevo and Mostar, covering the top accommodation, how to travel around, the best places to eat some local food and drink, get some ruthless JPEGs in the bones and some of the most beautiful waterfalls in the whole world and Europe, and of course get some ice cold beer waris in the system. Sit back, relax and let's get cooking, baby.
Located on the Miljacka River with the backdrop of the Trebekic Mountains, it has been an absolute ruthless, naughty and a little bit scintillating first 12 hours here in the capital of Sarajevo. Unbelievable scenes. I think weirdly similar to obviously a lot of like other Eastern European countries that I've been to, but also very, very different in the same thing, very juxtaposed in that sense. They do call it the Jerusalem of Europe. Very, very sort of multicultural, loads of synagogues, mosques, churches. You've got kind of like what I would picture when you go to Eastern Europe, like a lot of the old like former Yugoslavian buildings, and the lady that was who picked up from the airport was giving a little bit of the old history, a little bit of the old culture, but Em was just saying then it very much reminds us a little bit of like Medellin as well. Like you've got all like the backdrop to the mountains. It's a little bit misty today as well, but I believe the sun is about to start peaking out. So good job, the team have got a bit of the old factor 30 in the bones. I'm going to start including prices because I believe that's what people are always asking me. How much does this cost? How much does that cost? So I'll kind of whack it on. It is a very, very good value here. I'll do a little room tour very shortly. But yeah, we paid £200 return flights from the UK. We're not actually taking the return one because we've got a little surprise different towards the end of different end to the Bosnian adventures, which you'll probably see in the next video. But yeah, you're a little bit higher up here. It's about 580, 600 meters of the old altitude. So yeah, similar to yeah, when you're in like Bogota and you go down to like the coast in Colombia, we looked at like the temperatures for like Mustar and it's like an extra 8 degrees here, so it's going to be nice and toasty over there. But yeah, we had kind of a first impressions is absolutely hilarious. So like the people here are super, super friendly. Like I said, the lady that picked us up from the airport, a minute, let me just not get run over, but all these little like flare little back streets, lovely, just walking, perusing. It's nice little architecture, and as I said before, like obviously they've had a combination of different people and different countries rules, so you do get like kind of like a bit more of like a Middle Eastern kind of feel, bit of backdrop of Colombia with the mountains, and then obviously I think you get a little bit of obviously like the Austro-Hungarian side across like the German, the Austrian like type buildings as well. However, less about that, more about me making myself look like an absolute idiot. So we went to this burger place yesterday, just like it was the only place that was open. It was super, super late. And obviously I go in there and I'm trying to tell the lady that I'm allergic to nuts. So I have it written on my phone saying, in Bosnian saying, if I eat peanuts or nuts, I will die. Does this food have any nuts in? And she's reading it as if like this bloke is from Mars. She's like, no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, what? Anyway, I look on my phone. I need to get a haircut, as you can see. I've shown her saying, obviously I've written out what haircut I want, and I've shown it to the chef. So basically I've said, can I get 2 burgers and a portion of chips? And then, but I've shown her the thing saying, can I get a mullet with a skin fade and a tiny bit off the top? So just absolutely disastrous. The woman thought it was hilarious when I showed her the actual one. And then like, we didn't have any cash to pay. They don't take card in a lot of places, actually. That's one thing to note. And the lady was like, have the food, come back tomorrow, absolutely no problems. So yeah, for me, great first impressions, combination of, do you know what I mean, the yeah, what you'd expect with Eastern Europe, but yeah, insane hospitality. Send you up for a room tour and we'll be back for a little coffee right about now, baby.
The Queen of Booking.com and Airbnb. She's back, baby. She's had a little bit of time off, relaxing, but yeah, a little Sarajevo room tour, office tour, Spa tour. How much are we paying here, Em? £47 a night, was it?
45, I think.
45, and the pictures do not do it justice. The lady brought us here, absolutely lovely, family run little business. We've got a little bit of Netflix action. We've got the old aircon in the bones. Do you know what I mean? I was going to say we've learnt from our mistakes, but we don't often book anywhere where it's going to be hot without aircon. The ginger and the northerner, we cannot handle that. The chef, of course, needs a good little kitchen, and I thought this was just a nice little touch. Just a little can of Coke each. Small things go a bloody long way if you're entertaining. Good little bathroom. Shout out to the boy G-Dubs. Take it, it's good water pressure, unless I tell you otherwise. And yeah, look at the absolute size. King size bed. You know what I mean? If you're running an Airbnb, you're getting filtered straight out by the team, unless it's a king size. 1 for the king, and 2, because I'm an absolute beanpole. See you back in the old time, baby. Look at the absolute flair on them fellas. It's an absolute pleasure.
Oh, yeah, that smells nice.
Okay, how it smells is the taste.
I wish it was something.
Stop number 1, of course, the king requires some caffeine in the bones. Where are we?
Drizzilla Tea House.
We've actually just had to practice that about 5 times to get the name right, but lovely little joint just off the main square, the Ottoman fountain in the backdrop. Em has gone for, I'll overlay it now because it's a little bit easier with the thing, but yeah, Em's gone for a little tea. You got a little tasting, not a tasting actually, a little smell taste test.
It looks like, what's the drink that we, in Argentina?
Oh, mate.
Mate, it looks like mate, how they would have it in like that pot. So, oh, it's actually really full. I'm not going to give it a smell there.
I can actually smell it already. So he came over and said, do you want to smell the different teas? Getting them in the bones. Em said she loves a little bit of the old chamomile, so she's gone for that. I've gone for the traditional Bosnian coffee, and obviously a big amount of Ottoman/Turkish influence. So it looks like absolute rocket fuel. It does come with a little bit of the old sucre, a little bit of the old sugar, and a drink filled with honey, water, lemon,
Cinnamon.
cloves, and cinnamon.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good memory, that, to be fair. Didn't think I'd be remembering that, but right,
Looks strong.
that. This will get you up out of bed in the morning, I'll tell you that right now.
It looked actually quite thick, didn't it, really?
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Okay, so we've got a lot to divulge here. Firstly, the cup. The cup's top drawer. Normally, I'm dropping the thing, we're all over the absolute place here. But
Oh.
the cup comes in a cup. So 1, you're not burning your fingers. So already, we're taking a step up. It's super, super strong. So if you like a milky coffee like myself, it was going to take a lot to impress me, but it is bloody strong. It's very smooth, a lot smoother than the ones I had in Turkey, actually. So you're going to give it a little taste test then.
Oh, no. That's strong. It's strong, but it's nice. Little sips
Yeah.
and a little cup.
Yeah, top drawer. Em's got to wait 7 minutes for a tea just to get all those aromas and flavours. It was like £2.10 for the old coffee, and I think about £1.75 for the tea. So perfect timing.
Yeah. It's not a mug.
You know why you like that? Where's it reminding you of?
Like,
I'm just getting like Asia vibes.
yeah, that's it. I do normally have a bit of honey in my chamomile, but honey seems to be really popular here. I think they're. Oh no, I wouldn't actually. Oh, that's well nice. I can't tell what it is though. Oh well, I can definitely taste the chamomile. Yeah,
That's actually banging.
I prefer that than the coffee. I
That's
think.
so nice.
Yeah.
Not too hot, not too cold. It is sweet, but it's not like
Yeah,
blowing your head
I
off.
think honey would have been too sweet actually in it.
Yeah, that's top drawer. That's
Yeah.
getting 8 out of 10. Bosnian coffee is getting a 7.5. Cheers now. Nice, smooth, straight to the point. My hand's already shaking, so that tells you everything you need to know. That's got all the sediment in the bottom.
Oh god.
just unbelievable scenes. Everybody here speaks English, and I love South America for the opposite reason, because you feel like you're in the unknown, but for trying local food. We're on the burek, so it's easier to explain. I'm allergic to nuts. I'll let you show, yeah, if I eat peanuts, I will die. So we're looking at the old burek, and get a little close up, of course. It's giving me the Bosnians' answer to a cheese pasty. Em's already delved in what we're dealing with. Looks absolutely top drawer. We paid 7 Bosnian marks. So what's that we're dealing with there? About £3, something like that. Unbelievable, like for a kilogram of the stuff. Kilogram of cheese pasty for breakfast. Cheers. Okay. Completely different to what I thought. Silly amounts of filling, which is what we love to see. Very vinegary, I would say so. But you know what? Gets the job done. I imagine my rig will be going absolutely downhill. So when we're on the beaches, when we're in the waterfalls, it's not going to be great. But yeah, I'm going to give it a strong 7.8 out of 10. Main course coming shortly. Very well. A little bit of vinegar in the bones, but started digesting. I'll overlay the name so you know where we are. Nice little atmosphere outside. Quite interesting too. There's 2 restaurants, one where you get the burek from and one where you get the chipapi from. But you can only order from both if you sit outside. Let's get a little close up on this fella. Imagine what it's going to be, exactly what it says on the tin. 5 of these little fellas in there for 7 Bosnian marks. So you're looking again about £3 mark. Silly value. Bread is unbelievably soft. I'm getting focaccia, ciabatta vibes. Bread's really nice. Shouldn't have taken 2 bites. Never. Hold on. We're dropping the mic. All hell's breaking loose. But we'll keep it rolling. Jirapi, 8 out of 10. Meat, bread, exactly what it says on the tin. Hold the onions for me. Good start to the day. The voice is breaking. Things you hate to see, baby.
Yum.
Yeah, get a little close up, let's have a look.
Oh my god.
What are we dealing with then?
Oh my god. I can never tell. Well, pistachios. Is it like a syrup? Oh, it's so good.
Rating out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Whew. How much was it as well? It's like £1.75 or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yum.
Serious bit of kit. And this is where we went. The fellas over here, again, right next to the old Ottoman fountain. Aim for that. You can't go too far wrong. King on the sweet treats.
So good.
The team walking, talking, perusing around the old town. I'm not going to go out there and say it yet, but it could be one of the most underrated places I've ever been. We obviously had a little bit of food, got that in the bones. The king on the old baklava. It does have pistachios, which technically I can eat, but you know what I mean, I steer clear of any nuts just in case. People, 10 out of 10. Friendliness, left, right and centre, everywhere you go. I think it's super safe. Everywhere's safe until it's not. Of course, take precautions, but you know what I mean, we've been to some interesting places over the last 12 months being in where, like, hence why I've got this bag and stuff like that, but I personally wouldn't be worried about walking around here. We went out late last night, all that good stuff. However, the city hall, I've seen it in a couple of vlogs. I thought it was purely just a little Instagram, little JPEG spot. Unbelievable. £4 to go in, well worth it in my opinion. So there's a lovely little entrance. You can see like all the stained glass. And get a few JPEGs, get that old architectural fix in the bones. And then there's different, like the souvenir shop is absolutely pants, don't go in there. But the bottom floor, they've got a little museum. Super cool. Do you know what I mean? Just learned a couple things. In 1878, the sovereignty of Bosnia and Herzegovina was given to the old Austro-Hungarian throne. And yeah, pretty crazy. As I said before, like it was or it is and was an extremely multicultural place, and the first like commander, first leader they put in charge there apparently was anti-Muslim and just went, yeah, absolutely crazy here. So obviously it sounds just like a place where, yeah, they've had a tough time throughout history. However, the people here, they ain't showing it. They're absolutely lovely. And then obviously at the top floor, they have like an art exhibition as well. And if that is art, I reckon I've still got an opportunity left. We're talking old TVs. We're talking, looks like desks from like the 1960s in schools. But yeah, I mean, just whack it in a room, say it's art, it's contemporary, it's a little, yeah, bit edgy. But yeah, good buzz about the place, just flying about the old town. And you know, when you're in these little like souk type places where it's all tight, normally you're being pestered to buy things. I've not one person has pestered. It's a super relaxed place. Probably links back to the safety. So for me, it's rising the ranks of the old European escapades. You know what I mean? We'll just be taking you on that journey. Anything else of note, your boy will be back. But it's an absolute banger so far. Yes, sir. Culture, history flowing through the bones, just walks across the Latin Bridge, and of course the start of World War I, where Franz Ferdinand was assassinated, heir to the old Austro-Hungarian thrones. However, enough of the history, back to doing what we do best, sipping on a few ice-cold beer waris, if I can get my words out. We've come to Sarajevo Brewery, the only brewery in the whole of Europe that operated under the Ottoman rule, so they better be bloody tasty. I had two choices, the dark beer or the light beer, so of course I went for both beers. Come on, it's not a hen do, we've got to fire them up. We'll go with the light one first. They are both £3 for a little half litre. One sip of the schooner. Ooh, it's nice, it's light, it's hoppy, not too much fizz, it's not going to absolutely blow the socks off you. Good bit of kit, not normally on the old lagers, but when needs must. Looks like a G-Dub's favourite, looks like a little stout, looks like a little chocolate porter. However, it's just a dark number. That is banging. I want to say a little bit bittery, a little bit chocolatey maybe. Not quite as normal as the old IPAs, but you know, £3 a go, unbelievable bit of kit. The king's on a coffee, getting back in the game. Cheers now. The next stop on the Magical Mystery Tour, the team as always giving the absolutely ruthless views over Sarajevo. It's going to cost you £13.50 on the old cable car to come up here, but it's blistering heat, so I'd say well worth it. That's the return leg, very much giving me La Paz, Bolivia vibes. Ruthless amounts of elevation, tree coverage, you got the birds in the distance just whispering sweet nothings, and yeah, just drinking it all in. Viewpoints, beers, what more could you want? In search of the old bobsleigh track, but yeah, silly scenes. Bobsleigh track acquired. It says 15-minute walk. I reckon it's about 5 or 6. What's the film? Cool Runnings. Oh my god, we were talking about it. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. It's bobsleigh time. Yeah, for me. Couple JPEGs knocking about, a little bit of the old graffiti. Just at one with nature. Yeah, say outrageous behaviour. You're into the Winter Olympics, you're into bobsleigh. If you like Jamaica, if you like a few JPEGs, probably the spot for yourself. But yeah, super easy to get to. It was literally like 5 minutes, I'd say, from that top little viewpoint bit we're at. There's a little hotel you can walk to if you want a cold little beer wari in the system. But we're on a bit of a tight schedule. Lots on the old agenda today, and after the old beer brewery, even Sarajevo Brewery, you know what I mean, we might just stop here. But yeah, pretty flair, nice little spot, but it's one of those, you don't need too much time here.
quick 10-15 minutes, a few pics, get the views and the bones, and crack on. Chase the old dragon, baby. Views acquired, absolutely flowing into the old bones. But what we have found out is Sarajevo is one of the hottest places in the entire world. This morning, a little bit of cloud cover, just keeping us nice and temperate. And now that has gone and we are baking. Obviously, we're on the one side of the mountain looking down on the valley. Absolutely gorgeous scenery. However, what it does mean is we do have to battle our way up to our Airbnb. We did have a choice when we booked it, stay in the centre or stay a little bit further out. It's only about a 15-minute walk, but it does mean you pay for it battling up that hill. About to go get a fresh little trim. However, the thoughts have just been digesting, and the food we had this morning. Savapi is actually getting an upward point, and the burek is getting a -1 point. So I actually think that Savapi, whatever it is, it's absolutely top draw. That is going up to a straight 9 out of 10. And yeah, the burek is actually coming down. I'm going to give it a 6.5/7, but it was still very, very delicious. The coffee has been firing us up, fueling us for the day. It's a ruthless one. About to go and get a little fresh trim because the hair is looking a little bit dusty, and for the amount of JPEGs that are about to be flowing on this trip, we need to get it sorted. See you on the other side, baby. It is now the morning after Thursday, the 19th of June. The sun is absolutely beating down as we're on the signature walk to get a little bit of the old brunch, but lots to digest from last night. Went to get a trim, turned up to this place. I'll overlay the place you should go to now. Tried to get a trim there, and the guy was like, we're fully booked until Monday. So that tells you everything you need to know about this establishment. Elite level joint. They gave me somewhere nearby to try out, and I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. When the guy was cutting, I was fearing for the worst, but this is what we're dealing with. I feel as if from the front we're looking pretty sharp. There's a few little bits, but you know what I mean, got the job done, and for the mere old price of £6, you cannot complain. At that, went out for a little bit of dinner, went to a place called Barça, not really sure if it's a play on. One of the absolute top draw places in the Spanish circuit. However, the food was top draw, very Italian. I went for a little gorgonzola chicken. I'd say like 1.5 chicken breasts, which is again top draw. Lovely amount of meat. That's kind of the theme of Bosnia so far. If you like meat and you like a lot of it, we'll just be absolutely launching it straight at you. Went for a little Aperol, so my food was like £8.50. So you know what I mean, people love to ask the old prices. Got a few lovely little potatoes in there, parmesan, nice little crisp knocking on, and some grilled veg. Em went for a squid number with some grilled veg on the side, which was £11.50, because it kind of came as 2 dishes. And then she went for a little Aperol Spritz, £4 for one of the best drinks on the market, aka the Aperol Spritz. And then like the local beers in there. I got one of like the I didn't know you can call it, like the pop top ones. Reminds me of is it a Kolsch? Who knows at this stage? But yeah, got one of those, and that was like £2.75. So yeah, insane value, insane customer service, really, really nice guys in there. And there's loads of like, so the old town I think is super, super buzzing. And then the other side, as you kind of, not very far, like to be fair, like about 5 minutes away, near where Barça is, there's lots of like bars you can sit out, and then there's like a really nice like, I'm not going to say square, near the main cathedral, St. Michael's Cathedral. There's all these little chairs that you can sit up, and like restaurants and stuff in the middle. Just a lovely little spot for getting a little beer wari, getting a little drink, getting a little coffee in the system. And yeah, just good people viewing. I've just signed my first customer with work on a little 3-month exclusive deal to see how things go. And one of the most senior people is actually based in Sarajevo by chance. We'd already booked this, so we met up with her sister, and one of the people who work at this company, which was pretty nice because it's a remote first company. So trying to meet people and yeah, get a relationship is good. We went past the Eternal Flame, which actually we didn't put on the list I didn't take any videos, so I was like, it's a bit cringe trying to vlog and take videos with people that you've never met before. But yeah, went past that, and that's pretty cool. And that's basically ran to show, like, do you know what I mean, the resistance against former Yugoslavia and communism. And they said the only time it's gone out is during the Bosnian War in the old early 90s. So yeah, when they cut all the gas off and stuff. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Had a little walk through time with them, and then they took us to like a food festival, and there was like a Bosnian pop star song person on. So yeah, we were throwing some shapes. Absolutely illegal dance moves left, right and centre, but I think it's probably like a recurring theme. It's like how nice the people are here, super friendly. From every single place we've gone to, every single person we spoke to, far exceeded my expectations on that front. But yeah, we stayed out to like 11:30, and I thought this was like a pretty interesting point to make, and it just shows you kind of what we've become accustomed to in the UK. Is that we got to like the end of the night, we're all leaving, it's like 11:30, super dark, and one of the ladies had like, or one of the girls had like left her car like the other side of town, like probably like a 30-minute walk away. And they was like, oh, we'll get a taxi with you two, me and Em, and we'll go. And her car's wherever it was, like 30 minutes away. And we're like, I said, we should walk her back. And they were like, no, it'll be absolutely fine here. So yeah, obviously everywhere is safe until it is not safe. But yeah, I think that is a good barometer from the locals of how safe it is here. So yeah, entertained, breakfast pending. It's another beautiful one. Thank you.
Breakfast review pending, and we do have the king in for this one, because I'm going to put it out there, maybe one of the best breakfasts I've had in a bloody long time. I went for, of course, a little staple brioche bun. Brioche bun or brioche bun? Who knows? We'll roll with it anyway. A little bit of avocado and some eggs, nice and dippy on top. However, the star of the show, the chicken katsu, Asian inspired, few little pickles knocking about in there, just absolutely scintillating. 10 out of 10, and the orange juice, freshly squeezed this morning, big vibes. Talk me through, was it good? What do you get?
I got overnight oats, and to be honest, I'm just obsessed with overnight oat lately, and it was a good one. Might even be better than the one I make, which is saying something.
Coffee?
Coffee, Arabica coffee. Again, don't have it often, but when you do, it's the star of the show. And yeah, 10 out of 10.
Good vibes. Yeah, it was top draw, good value. I'll overlay the price now, because I can't remember off the absolute top of my head. Then we got a little taxi up to the Yellow Fortress. Definitely get a taxi. It was $6.30, which is like £2.90 for a taxi all the way across town, through the old town, up the massive hill. So definitely worth the value. And right now we'll overlay a few of the old drone clips. We've got the bird in the sky, and yeah, I would say this is a better viewpoint than going up the mountain where we went yesterday. The mountain is great because you're higher up, but I actually think the view of the old town, the city hall, the Latin bridge, just all that good stuff. Few churches, few synagogues, few mosques in the bones as well. So yeah, for me, if you're only going to do one viewpoint, I would definitely do the Yellow Fortress, and it's free. And now we're on a delicious little, what's this place called, Em? Kamanajara? We're absolutely horrendous at pronouncing these names, but we've gone for a little iced coffee. And the breakfast place we went to this morning and the place now is where the girls recommended last night. So if in doubt, listen to the locals. You can't go too far wrong. One sip of the schooner. Oh. You'll have to try that. Tastes like a Baileys. It's very sweet though, so you might not actually like it.
Too sweet for me.
I think it's banging. Last question. Favourite thing, Sarajevo? What's the one thing that stood out to you? Could be food, drink, people, could be architecture.
The food.
The food. What was the highlight?
That food that the local place we had yesterday. It was like that meat. Yeah. And but both combined, and that cheese and the pastry, yeah.
Burek, cheese. For me, there's so many good things. I actually think it's like exceeded expectations. Sarajevo, thought it was like going to look like it, but I think for me, the hospitality, the people have been absolutely top draw. Everything's good value. It's good vibes. We're getting the train very shortly. Cheers now.
Mostar is situated on the Nevata River and is the 5th largest city in the country. Here, minarets and church bells share the same skyline, and where a single stone arch bridge has become the symbol of hope, division and reunion all at once. It was named after the bridge keepers, aka the Mustar, who guarded the Stymost, which is the old bridge, during the Ottoman era over the Nevata River. It's home to an old sniper's tower that laid fire to Croatians in the west, the infamous cliff jumping, and some of the most majestic waterfalls in the entire world. Welcome to Chapter 2 of the Bosnia Adventures.
Everybody online, they're making a big fuss, they're making hour-long videos on how to get from Sarajevo to Mostar. The train is super easy. It was described as the most picturesque train in the whole of Europe, and for me, it left a little bit to be desired. It was a great train journey, however, I will warn you, you want to sit on the right-hand side for the first hour and a quarter, and then the left-hand side, if you can, for the second half. The right-hand side, you get more of like the drops, the views, and then the left side, you get more views of like the Alpine lakes and so forth. It was pretty decent, but the windows were absolutely filthy. We booked ahead of time. It's the exact same price if you book ahead of time versus if you book on the day. So it is 14 each, which is about £6, insane value. The train station is pretty niche, like an old school Soviet place. You get in there, give them your passport, you have to sign away your tickets, get yourself in the old mixer. The train itself, apart from the windows being a bit mingy, is actually unreal. So if you have the 2 seats here, all going back, you can actually spin them round. Met a good little friend, Sean, who looks the spitting image of the boy B. Waltz on the journey. So may meet up with him for a little brewery in a couple of days. One little thing of note is that 4 months ago they put a smoking ban, so for me this is a big positive. When you go to a lot of like Balkan countries, Eastern European countries, you can smoke inside everywhere. For me in bars it's not too bad, but when you're eating, not for me. So 4 months ago, one of the guys was telling us that they brought it in, and obviously everyone here hates it. So yeah, for me, it's a positive. For the locals, they hate it. But let me just spin you around and give you a little tour. Bit of balcony action. We're in Mustar, so we're paying £47 a night here. And it's pretty bloody lovely. We've got the sun setting just on the top of the old mosque there. And then I'm not even sure if the camera will pick this up, but right on the top of the hill is one of the old viewpoints. This is what we're dealing with. So this could get a little bit active later. The king won't be happy about trying to sleep in here, but it could be a bit noisy. King size bed, does what it says on the old tin. A little bit of the old open plan living area. Any teas, coffees? Nothing like the last place, was it, Em?
There was some tea and coffee, but I feel like private Airbnb hosts, they get the touches of the coke and water in it.
Yeah. So here it's like run by some management company. They must have asked us 3,000 times how we're checking in. Nice little desk action, getting a little bit of the old editing done, and they're prepped ahead of time with outrageous scenes. But yeah, balcony action, bathroom action in here. Exactly what it says on the tin. But yeah, a little bit of food, rest, recuperation, and exploring again tomorrow AM. Let's get it! Touchdown late in Mustar, and it's just absolutely gorgeous scenes. A little bit of church action, a little bit of mosque action. Me and Em have just been sat right here on the left. Lovely little dinner. Bella Vista, I would highly recommend booking in advance. We were just lucky enough that we got there probably a little bit later and someone was actually finishing. So we got a nice little table at the side of the water, and it's just silly scenes, people jumping off, diving, perusing, getting a little beerwari in the system. But let's recap the old food. Just serious value. If you like your meats, you're going to be in the right spot here. So I went for the old mixed grill, serious amounts of meat in there. We're talking chicken, veal, pork, what else was in there? Like the little chivafi? I don't even know what the bloody thing's called now. It's absolutely delightful. And that was like 30 in their money, so you're probably looking at about £12–13. With some chips in the system as well. Gorgeous little view in the backdrop. Em had the old mosque over her shoulder, the sun setting, and I had obviously the main bridge where people were jumping off. So yeah, absolute carnage. Just walking, sauntering through the old town. Just got a little spot to little sit down over here. But yeah, for me, everywhere you go here, like the people are just super friendly. The waiters, the people in little shops, I've not had one person like try and sell something to your net, and you know what, when you're being sold to, you just never buy anything. So for me, top draw. But yeah, you probably want to book somewhere, because obviously sunset's a little bit early here, or it goes behind the mountains. So yeah, you probably want to get there for dinner. I would probably say 6:37 if you want the sun on you. But yeah, it's just a lovely little spot. Bella Vista, getting the straight vibes. 10 out of 10 for me. Views, food, the beer wari. I went for like the Mostari, Starapramen type beer. That was absolutely terrible bit of kit. Absolutely no life in the old boy. Em went for the local wine. She gave it a 6 out of 10. I had a little taste test for the boys, and do you know what I mean? We might check out a little wine tasting in the coming days. But yeah, the food is 10 out of 10. The wine, the beers, might need a little bit of work, but we've got an unbelievable little day lined up tomorrow. We're going to be firing up the old Waterfalls. Just booked in a little private tour. The bougie backpackers striking again. So we'll see you then, baby. Cheers now.
The team do not miss. One of the highlights of Bosnia is, of course, the Karavajak. Again, not how you pronounce it, but the main waterfalls. About 50 minutes outside Mustar. You can do a group trip, which was like €33 each, but me and the king, we're back again. The bougie backpackers, it was €50 each to our own private trip. Guy picked up from our Airbnb, exact same. So a little bit more just for that luxury, that comfort, and just a little bit more flexibility if you want more time and hate doing all this stuff. We'll stop here for a JPEG and stuff and whatever. So we bypassed that, but the drive here, 50 minutes, plain sailing. One thing I would say, the road, beautiful road, nice views of Mustar in the distance. I would get here pretty early, so we got picked up at 8:30, got here 50 minutes, so about 9:20, and then it's about a 10-minute walk from like the ticket office down to like where the waterfalls are. And we've had an hour now, got some JPEGs before everyone gets here, and the time is now 10:35, and it is absolutely Sergio Ramos. We're sat like just on our left here. Got a little deck chair at the front. It was how much, Em? 26 in their money. 26 marks, so it's what, like £12, 2 deck chairs and a little, I nearly said sombrero, parasol, because of course the ginger, the northerner, we're going to protect ourselves from the old UV rays. It's also 20 marks each to get in, so yeah, about £9. Another thing, you know what I said the other day about like the safety? For me, I think Bosnia is like a very, very high trust environment. Like, no one's checking your bags. It's not like, oh, you can't bring water, oh, you can't fly a drone here. Basically, the idea is don't be a dickhead and you'll be absolutely fine. Water in, pom bears in. That's what the team are bringing to the party. And also went for a little banana and chocolate protein drink. Usually when travelling, I'm in no place to be giving rig advice. You got to get the protein in early. But to be fair, this is one of the places where you can probably get about 150 grams in a meal with all the cevapi and all the old mixed grill stuff. But the waterfalls themselves, absolutely gorgeous, stunning. Sometimes it's like not as good when you see it in person. For me, if anything, it's better than what you see online. Obviously, I've had the drone up in the sky, and hopefully you're treated to a little bit of that. You can come here and just like sit like on the rocks at the front, and it is a little bit rocky as you're getting in the water. So I'd probably get some Crocs, bang them in sport mode, and yeah, you can get in the absolute mixer. But all the tour groups, the guy was saying, set up from Mustar. They usually get here from 10 onwards, and the same from Dubrovnik as well. So if you want some time to yourself, come as early as possible. It opens at like 7:30 depending on the time of year. Places to get food, but Jasko, our tour driver, said absolutely do not get food here. It's an absolute terrible bit of kit. So he has recommended a little fish joint he can take us to later. So we might go there, we might not, who knows. The pom bears and the old chocolate banana milkshake will keep us stocked up for a little while. You can also pay by card to get in here, but everything else is cash only. So yeah, word from the king, what do you reckon?
What I think of it all?
Yeah.
I think it's fabulous, but the water is freezing.
Oh yeah, I didn't say anything about the water.
I was in there for, I don't know, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
And I've literally got the shivers. I've had to put like my shirt on to try and warm up and stand in the sun.
I was like, go over there and I'll get a few like drone vids of you like swimming and stuff. And obviously we're doing like some for YouTube, and I was like, I'll get some for like Insta or whatever as well. So Emma's just swimming like laps up and down. There's loads of fish in there as well.
big and it gets quite deep. So like it goes deep, then it like rises a bit, and then it goes really deep again. So treading water.
Absolutely freezing. I'll just spin you around pretty quick. So we got here this morning, and like there was literally no one here, and now, as you can see, word to the boy Sergio, it is a little bit busy. So yeah, if you want some photos of no one, then get here. I would say before 9:30. But yeah, Instaverse reality, no, absolutely not. Top draw place, 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Yeah, top draw. Back soon, baby. On the way back from the waterfalls, which you're getting a straight 10 out of 10, we've come to Portell. Again, not how you pronounce it. Will be overlaid so you can follow the footsteps. But yeah, the scenes here are absolutely stunning. Little castle on the hill, overlooking, do you know what I mean, some trees. We've got a gorgeous little river, super tranquil. You have the moss sound in the background. You call for prayer. You've got a little bit of insects, a little bit of bird life getting into the old ears, serenading you left, right and centre. So of course the Brazil shirt is quite fitting, bringing those party vibes. If you do come here, it's a bit of a steep walk coming up. It took me, I reckon, about 6 minutes, but I was absolutely pelting it up here, getting the Crocs in sport mode to get up here, because we got about half hour. We kind of said to the taxi driver, and obviously wanted to get a few of the old delicious drone shots for you guys. So yeah, because I ran up, make sure you subscribe and hit a like on the old video. But yeah, for me, half an hour, 45 minutes, a few little souvenir shops, get a little coffee in the bones. But yeah, the scenery here, absolutely stunning. Rolling hills, a few different castles you can kind of go to, and again, it's just like super relaxed. Some people say this is good, some people say it's bad. There's like no security. I'm just stood in front of like a 100-foot drop. Let's see if I can even show you this off the head of it. So castles here, you can just walk down straight off the edge. I can barely even see with my sunglasses on, and yeah, don't fall down there, otherwise that is what we call see you later, fella. But yeah, ruthless views, ruthless scenery, lots of exploring done today. Beer war is pending. Does Bosnia have one of the best flags in the world? Let you discuss that one. But see you back in Mostar, baby. Peace. Yes, the people. G-Dubs, normally the postman, always delivering, thought I'll go out, get a nice little coffee overlooking the river, the water, while Em gets a tiny little bit of work done, take in a bit of the old vitamin D, got there, didn't bring any bloody money with me, and nowhere here takes card, or pretty much nowhere. So if anywhere does, I will be the first one to let you know. However, last night, the team, we absolutely nailed it. We had a few cervezas, we had a few Aperol Spritz, but we didn't take it too far, so feeling pretty fresh, to be fair. Absolutely fine. This morning, Terza Bar, just absolutely different gravy on the views. The different like little terraces there. I would personally say when you go up, go to the right hand side. There's little two tables on their own where me and Em sat pretty much the whole time, apart from when two ladies from France came and joined us. And there's another little secluded bit where you can sit, where we sat right at the end. And basically the sun just drops out the sky. Very similar to Kotor in Montenegro, if anyone's been there, where the sun will set before like the actual time of setting because it goes behind the mountains. But yeah, just absolutely sensational. £3.80 for an Aperol, £3.70 for a glass of the old Vino Blanco. And to be honest, I'm going to say the white wine was actually better than the old Aperol, but two elite level drinks. I'd probably say normally my favourite is the old Aperol. Get that sweetness, absolute delicious Euroboy summer drink in the bones. But in the recent months, recent year, do you know what I mean? I'm partial to a little bit of the old Vino Blanco. Of course, the Mendoza region of Argentina. Has converted me on that one. But yeah, we had our own little terrace. The only negative here is that obviously I said they passed that smoking ban, so you can't smoke inside, but you can smoke outside. So yeah, when somebody came and sat next to us smoking, me and them were like, right, we're out of here. Let's go somewhere else. And then we went to this place called like the Gastro Pub. A little bit of live music. It was a bit more expensive there. It was like £4.50, but still insane value, but obviously a bit more vibey, a bit more atmosphere, a bit later on. Obviously everyone is on the old Pauline Fowlers, so yeah, if you want to come back smelling like an ashtray, that's the place to go. But as I kind of saying before here, it's just such a trusted environment on like buying stuff, paying for stuff, walking around, super safe. And also, like, I don't know, me and Em were trying to quantify yesterday, like barriers for entry. So we're at this like live event, obviously you have to buy drinks to sit in this area. And like, if it was in the UK, they would have like blocked off like the upper terraces and stuff like that where people were walking. But they just don't do that here. They just don't care. If you can buy drinks, you buy drinks. If you just want to sit there and listen to the music, they're not going to be absolutely hammering you and hounding you and try and block you off for getting those delicious tones in the old ears. It was a little bit different to the festival we went to in Sarajevo because they were doing like one English song, one Bosnian song, so a little bit of something for everyone. Again, super friendly, good music, good tunes, good vibes. What more can I say? Bosnia's just going boom, 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 up in the old estimations. But yeah, gonna have a little wander, a little saunter around the old town, get a little bit of vitamin D, couple more JPEGs, and we have got an unbelievable little breakfast lined up. So, see you there, baby.
What's that? No, I think I brought.
The team finally had some sustenance that isn't a ciabatta. How are you feeling, Em?
Yeah, it's good to have a bit of variety. But I can't doubt the food. It's amazing, but just nice to mix up, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we went, do you know what I mean, a little bit more upmarket. We went to a place called Urban, and it's an absolute Instagrammable paradise. We're talking the views, the backdrop of the bridge, got a lovely little setting. Nice little like flower arrangements. It's just a little bit more elevated dining, some would argue.
Correct. Yeah, the mist coming down, start off with one of them cloth things for your hands. You know, felt very lush.
Yeah, definitely. So we went for a chalice of orange juice. Anything that comes in a vessel of that size, you know it's going to be banging. Rinse and repeat. Same as the other day. Hand-picked this morning. And yeah, hand squoze and absolutely top drawer. The coffee, the size of it, it was banging, but you weren't happy with the size.
I think it was gone in about 2 sips.
Yeah, a shot of coffee is not hitting the mark, but you know what I mean, the coffees are pretty bloody strong, so yeah, that goes a little bit fired up. They do this is the sort of restaurant we're at. They did a little cover, you got a little bit of bread with it. It was like cheese and butter, the dip, but it was unbelievable.
Very nice, very nice.
Right, and the food we went for, so we let Em order all the food, and we thought we're getting courgette.
I don't know what happened with my brain this morning, obviously not enough for the coffee. I read it. Was it grilled courgette? And I was like, I love courgette at the minute. It sounds lovely.
I thought it was going to come like a little like salad.
Yeah. Anyway, arrived, and I hate not confrontation, but like if something's wrong at service or something, I'm just like, thanks. And then he puts it on the table, and I was like, well, that's not courgette. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll eat into it. There'll be courgette inside. Still no courgette. And then I realised I misread it. It was croquette, not courgette.
Yes, we had a little ham and cheese croquette, which is very nice, on a little bed of like sweet potato puree. But the stars of the show, we had like a little meatball and mash. Very, very good. I'm going to give it a 7.9 out of 10. However, the star of the show was like the Bosnian version of like a tagine, slow-cooked meat. With what was in the middle? Was it a little bit of mash, a little bit of like cheese, maybe?
No, I think it's that same kind of like. It's like goat's cheese.
Yeah. And normally, like, you know, when you go somewhere and you have like a big tagine or whatever, it's like filled with like potatoes and veg to bulk it up. This was just pure meat, the whole thing. So yeah, you cannot complain about the amount of meat going into the old system. I was nearly going to give it an even higher rating because I thought it was no smoking because there was nobody smoking in there. And then yeah, somebody whacked out a little cigarette at the end. So yeah, I still think it was banging. The little mist was cool. Lovely little spot for a few JPEGs. Food overall rating, Em, what do you reckon?
7.5.
What's bringing it down for you?
The coffee could have been a little bit warmer. And I would have liked my courgette.
So Em's dropping it down because we've ordered the wrong dish. But yeah, you know, you've got to get your coffees right, otherwise the king will be onto you. In terms of like pricing, like I say, this is obviously a little bit more of an upmarket place. It was £26 each. Obviously that's both for a coffee, both for a massive orange juice. We shared a starter and had a massive main each. So I think for like, when you compare it to like the UK normal places, it's still insane value. But if you're trying to make things cheaper or more affordable here, I'd probably avoid it. But yeah, for me, I thought it was top drawer, and we've just got a little lunch and look at the little spot we're in here. Give you a little spin round if we can. Will the camera spin? Yeah, baby. But yeah, we're literally here in the Stymost, and there's a guy hopefully about to jump every time I've started recording. And this is probably another thing of note as well. Like, I thought when I looked online, or you see vlogs and stuff like that, people are jumping off here every 5 minutes. You probably see like one person an hour maybe, so they kind of wait at the top till they get a certain amount of money, and then the guy on the left hand side will also be like trying to get tips, fire the crowd up, and then they have to jump in between the little boats that are going on as well. And then you can also do a little diving school. Hopefully you can see that right next to the umbrella parasol. You can do like a little diving school, so you do like 5, 10, 15 metres, then 20 at the top, and then you build up to this big bad boy here, 25 metres. But after watching them people in Guatemala pretty much paralyse themselves, you will not be seeing G-dubs there. Me and the king, I was going to say, are sat here, but Em's flown away from our table. Lovely little joint. The guy said we just opened here, and yeah, €4 a beer. We've ran out of Bosnian marks, so yeah, we're flying through the euros now. But yeah, insane value drinks as always, silly setting, and hopefully we can get a little clip of this bloke jumping. Might even fire the drone up. What an absolute ruthless little Saturday. Not a cloud in the sky. Good value beers, good company. Absolutely full as chips after that breakfast. What more can you ask for, baby? Pleasure. Cheers now.
Very good. Gorgonzola, smoked something, and a baguette with apple cider. Very good. Cheers.
Ready to roll, ready to drop some wisdom. The Bosnian adventures. Un momento, por favor. We're not sponsored by Crocs, but if they do want to sort me out, that would be absolutely top draw. Socks or no socks? Crocs or no Crocs? A couple beer wires in the system, don't you worry about that. The Bosnian adventures, outro time, Mustar Sarajevo, a little bit of an overview, the good, the bad, everything in between. We've just found a little secluded, I'm not going to call it a beach because we're obviously on a lake, but I'll overlay the name of the mosque now. Just behind it, some little stairs you can go down. Got the sun dropping out the sky as usual, a little bit of golden hour, few little Somersby ciders getting in the system, and it's super, super quiet. The boats can't come up here as much, but you can't see the bridge, but I think it's pretty nice. How do you compare it to where we're sat this afternoon, where it's a little bit active? Both good, I'd say.
It's a lot quieter, but I think if you want to go in to the water, it's like a lot of, like it's harder to get in and it's really slippy, whereas it's easier to get in the other area.
Yeah. I'm getting Alaskan fishing vibes. Never been there, but I've seen a couple of videos, salmon fishing, all that sort of stuff. It's moving pretty quickly. Mustar is absolutely delightful. I would say
Mostar is the place. If you're coming just to Bosnia and you just want to go to one place, I would say Mostar's a lot nicer, a lot more quaint. You've got the bridge. Obviously, Sarajevo is, I would probably say, maybe the nicest like Eastern European like city, capital city that I've been to. For me, highlights the people, some of the friendliest people I've ever met. The food, it's good for me to try some of the local food for a change. Obviously, the cevapi was a highlight, but eating one of them a day and then getting topless on the waterfront is less than ideal. The highlight, talk to me, what was your favourite thing?
I think actually sitting up in the...
Terza Bar.
Yeah, up in the bar. Oh,
Yeah.
no. Actually, I think it was our first night when we arrived and we sat and having dinner, I think just taking it all in, the views, the food. I just don't think it's like anywhere we've been in Europe or anywhere at all. And yeah, I just think the scenery has just been amazing.
Yeah, I agree on all fronts. One bit of info or advice, because you see loads of vlogs online, most people stay at the exact same Airbnb where you can like look at the bridge. We've stayed like 3-4 minutes walk from the bridge. Decent gaff, I'm not going to give them too much credit, but you want to stay on the same side as Terza Bar. That's where the sun sets. You'd have sun on your balcony all afternoon, but it was like triple or quadruple the price just to have a room that looks at the bridge, whereas like you can just go out and basically the cost of the room, you could just have all your food and drink out for the entire day. So I personally wouldn't stay in like the most Instagrammable like Airbnbs, because all the stuff you can just sit here or sit at a little bar and so forth. Terza Bar for me was an absolute highlight. I really liked where we went today for food, like urban, a lot more expensive, but the food was a lot more elevated, let's say, but the price difference is obviously pretty big. Like we're spending like £5 a meal there, we spent like 25 quid a meal, but in life you do get what you pay for. What's up next, Em? Where are we going?
We are off to Dubrovnik, which is exciting. Somewhere we've never been. We've both been to Croatia, but Dubrovnik we haven't, so exciting to go somewhere new.
Yes, sir. Little bus over there tomorrow. I think it's about 3 hours. So we'll be exploring. It'll all be in the next video. Questions, as always, in the comments. Whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Still en route. I don't even know what we're up to in a minute. I'm not even looking at subscribers. 3K, 4K, who knows? Hit it, follow along. See you in the next one, baby.